These are all of the things that Albion Online does much better than any other MMORPG or company on the market. Let's get into it. First up is Albion Online is one world. It is not separated by shards or instances. Okay, so the tutorial and the corrupted dungeons are instanced, but the entire game world itself is non-instanced, okay? There's no phasing, there's no separate servers, it's all one united world. And I think the only other game that really does this is EVE Online, but regardless, you can, whenever your friends log into Albion Online, you don't have to pick a server. You're not separated, from your friends in Europe or America or even Asia. Everyone plays the same exact world, the same servers. If I log into the game and you log into the game, I can find you. I can literally go up to your character and you can see me. I won't be in some separate instance of the game world. Like in World of Warcraft, if you go to the main town, you're going to see random people from different servers who you may never ever see again. Whereas if I go to the main town here in this game, I see everyone that's in the town across the entire world. There is the only downside is the language barrier, which I'm sure at some point they might address, with some sort of auto in-game translator, but regardless, it's you're seeing everyone currently playing the game. And here, like you can see right now, there's 223 people in this one town out of multiple towns. Okay, I can go down to the market area, and there's gonna be about another 200 to 400 people here, all using the market at once. Right, 239 in this town, all bunched up in the marketplace here. Yeah, it does look a little crazy, all the nameplates mashed together. So what if it's not aesthetic? It makes you feel like you're in an actual world, an actual massive multiplayer game. Unlike what is it, New World, where you had 100 different servers and only 50 people per server. The game worlds were completely dead and empty and just non-existent. So Albion Online, that's one of the best things about it, is that it's all one persistent open world where everyone is connected. That's all. Next up is the PvP aspect of the game. Albion Online, a lot of people see it as a full loot MMORPG, and it is, but the game gives you plenty of options to not experience full loot if you're not into that, or to go all in and, experience the full loot if that's all you really care about, okay? A lot of games fail at this aspect. For instance, World of Warcraft does not have full loot anything, neither does New World. But also New World fails at the fact that you pretty much have to consent to PvP at all times, whereas you can run around that entire game world and no one can ever attack you. Or you can set it where you flag up and people can attack you. Whereas in Albion Online, there's zones just like that, but there are zones where you don't get a say. If you want to be in that zone, you have to fight other players, and they can overwhelm you, they can outnumber you, they can outgear you, or you could stumble into a big war and just start looting people's stuff. The greatest thing about the consensual and non-consensual PvP of Albion Online, compared to other games, is that you never know what's going to happen, just kind of like in real life. You can just be out in the wilderness, chopping trees, and suddenly 10 dudes start fighting, and 2 of them survive, and then there's 8 dead bodies on the ground, and you just made out like a bandit. You're super rich from someone else's meaningless little fight that they had, right? Or, you can still progress in this game, albeit a little less lucky or maybe slightly slower if you're not efficient about it, by just never PvPing at all. So it caters to all demographics, right? Whereas something like New World, it's always consensual PvP. You could, unless you're fighting a war defending territory, in which case it's still kind of consensual because you get to schedule a time to fight and stuff. And Albion Online has all that kind of crap too. But what I'm saying is that a lot of games these days, you have to consent to PvP. You can just completely ignore other players if you choose to. Old World of Warcraft had, PvP zones. You had to PvP if you were in those zones, and I don't think they do that anymore. So it's really cool that Albion still does that. So speaking of PvP, all right, if you take New World for example, if you're flagged for PvP and 40 guys start attacking you, they're all going to deal 100% damage to you, and you're going to die immediately. Whereas in Albion Online, if an entire army attacks you, you get a massive defensive buff, because you're just one dude against 40. So it's not entirely unfair. Yeah, you're not going to be able to defeat 40 dudes, but you're not going to die immediately either. If you're a transporter and you're transporting, through a dangerous zone and 40 dudes literally attack you, you're still probably dead. But the cool thing is that in like a big Zerg versus Zerg, the bigger army doesn't automatically win. Whereas in New World, I was in like a 200-man guild at the time, and we could just control the entire map and take over the whole map, and no one could do anything. We didn't have the best players, admittedly. We just had more players. And because we had more players, we automatically won every open world engagement and was able to push territories. Whereas in this game, the more coordinated the group, like a coordinated group of 10 players can wipe out 80 players, and it's very common, and you see it all the time. They have these kill boards where like 10 dudes wipe out like 200 and stuff like that. It's insane. So player skill definitely matters more so than any other MMO that I've ever seen. One of my absolute favorite things about Albion Online compared to any other MMORPG is that items in this game are not gate-kept, because there is nothing that is truly soulbound. You don't have to go raid with 40 people that you hate to kill some stupid dragon that has a 1% chance to drop the dagger that you need for your specific build. Every item in Albion Online is crafted by the players. You can do anything in the game that makes you money, and then get the items that you want from that activity. Like, I can chop trees and get the best, like, sword in the game. I can get the best mount in the game if I want by just chopping trees. I don't have to, sign up to some idiot's website and then pretend to be normal in a group full of people and then go slay some giant stone creature in the hopes that it drops us a little trinket to complete my dream build. I can just go to the marketplace from someone that crafted those items and then pay for it with the in-game money. All right, I don't have to be a slave to some guild in order to get what I want. I don't have to rely on dice rolls and luck to get what I want. I can just simply work for what I want, like you would in the real world, right? Like, if you want to buy a new car, you get a job, and you work the job, and then you buy the car. You don't have to, like, suddenly encounter Elon Musk in the forest and then, beat him up with your 40 dudes while he's in a giant mech suit, and then he might maybe drop a super ultra rare Tesla. Okay, that's not how the real world works, and that's not how Albion Online works. So, one of the most things that I hated, like, so much about World of Warcraft is that a certain item only drops from certain monsters. Like, in order to get the coolest rogue helmet in classic WoW, you had to kill a Nixia, which is a dragon. It's not a hard fight, but you need other people to do it. You can't just do it at 2 in the morning, on a whim. You have to actually organize it and get a bunch of people involved, and they have to know what they're doing, and then you have to meet up at the little cave entrance and then spend an hour getting ready and pre-buffing just for a chance at it. And then you have to compete with the other players too, who also want the damn helmet. That's miserable. It's suffering. It sucks. Albion Online doesn't have that mechanic, and that's what makes it super great. Alright, so I have actually ragged on Albion Online in the past for having botters and cheaters and hackers. However, that was from a perspective of not checking out other MMORPGs, and let me just tell you right now that Albion Online actually has way less botters and way less hackers and cheaters than pretty much every other MMORPG on the market. Have you seen Lost Ark? Have you seen the 300,000 bots that keep coming back to that game after bandwave after bandwave, which they're just bandwaves for publicity's sake. They're not actual real bandwaves. Okay, even after every bandwave of that game, you just see an endless army of bots flooding the chat with gold spam. You don't see, here's the thing, you never see gold spam in the general chat, and if you do, it's snipped immediately. Like, I've been actively playing Albion for the past 3 months, like every single day, and I haven't seen a single one. Not a single one, okay? And yes, there is RMT in the game, there are cheaters, there are bots, there's plenty of them, but when you compare it to Lost Ark's bot count, when you compare it to World of Warcraft's botting and cheating, when you compare it to New World's botting and cheating, it's nothing. The cheats in this game, yeah, it's unfair because it's full loot. It kind of sucks when someone can ESP you across a map, just find you in a dungeon that's technically invisible and wait outside, and there's a whole lot of gripes that I can give. Every game has bots and cheaters, but Albion Online has the least amount of bots and cheaters compared to every other MMO on the market, okay? So I gotta give them props, they're actually trying, okay? It's weird, like you play on a private server for World of Warcraft and they can nip all cheaters and all hackers in the butt, right? There's like 10,000 players on a private WoW server, and 1 or 2 guys can completely handle the entire server, whereas multi-million, billion-dollar AAA companies Literally can't on like a 3,000 man server. It's insane. It's ridiculous. There's no excuse for these companies not to handle this problem. And Albion Online being all one world, they're actively trying. That's the thing. You can see them actively doing it day after day after day. If you follow and report a bot and put it on a list and wait until the account gets banned, it gets banned in a reasonable amount of time. Not several months down the line, not a year down the line. It's nice, okay? It's very nice compared to the likes of New World, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, etc. So yeah, and this kind of ties into the same thing, okay? Games like World of Warcraft and New World and Lost Ark, okay, which is basically Amazon. Whenever you submit a ticket, it's always an automated response. It's never human response. If you put in a ticket and you even ask something simple, like in human terms, like, can you tell me what color the grass is, just to prove you're human, they won't do it. They just click an automated response and it's done. Blizzard has started doing this too. You almost never get real human responses, and if you do, it takes several days to weeks of just submitting tickets over and over and over again. Of course, with Amazon, you never get a human response, not once, okay? And then these games also suffer from a mass report auto ban system. And what that means is that in World of Warcraft or New World, if a guild of people all mass report you, you are automatically banned. You're automatically muted. You're automatically taken out from the game world. And those tickets that are automated, they're never going to get answered. They're never going to get, you're never going to be helped, okay? Like, I was the 4th biggest YouTuber for New World, and I had a private team I could email to help me with stuff, and even they couldn't help me. Like, even they were completely useless. Whereas in Albion Online, if you submit a ticket, you're getting a response within hours, okay? Yeah, it does take a few hours. Maybe a day if your, ticket isn't a big deal. But whenever people mass report you, it's always human reviewed. It's never automatic. Okay, and another thing too that I don't have listed on the screen is that you could be the most vulgar, evilest, like, denier of World War II events in the game and say the raunchiest, craziest stuff, and they won't ban you for it. They just mute you. You'll be perma-muted, sure, yeah, but they don't ban you. Whereas if I make a light political joke in World of Warcraft or New World, I'm basically banned forever, okay? Like, I'm permitted in New World for talking about World War II. Just talking about it, World of Warcraft, you can make a joke about a current event, like something that happened in Los Angeles or something, like a person, dying from law enforcement, and just talking about that. That's like a month-long mute and a ban. You get taken out of the game for weeks at a time while you pay a subscription. Speaking of subscriptions, and this is where I gotta give big kudos, okay? The game is 100% free to play, okay? You can earn the in-game subscription with in-game money, okay? You don't ever have to pay real money to get the premium benefits that other players do. So what this means, it equals the playing field between poor and rich people in real life, okay? Whereas in, like, World of Warcraft, you literally cannot play the game at all unless you pay up, wagey. Pay up your 15 shekels a month, okay? Games like New World, yeah, they're just buy to play. That was not the original model. They wanted it to be like a subscription model in the alphas and the betas, but due to the player loss, they've never really implemented that. And it's a good thing they didn't. But the game is Albion Online, free to play. Everything you do earns money in the game. Like right now, my character has almost 30 million silver. I can buy this subscription for 10 million silver, and for me, I can make that in a few hours because I'm well established. Whereas a new player, it might take them a week or two if they play all day every day. I got a guy saying big fan. I'm pretty well known in this game. There you go. You made it in the video, Cal Zahar. Anyway. New players, if they really dedicate themselves, they can earn it in their first 2 to 3 days, and then from there it just snowballs out of control. So it's very in-game affordable, whereas in World of Warcraft, okay? In World of Warcraft, yeah, the current game has a token system, and let me tell you, if you sell really old world artifacts from the Wrath of the Lich King days on the current, up-to-date version of the game, you can maybe buy 4 or 5 months worth of subscription. Whereas if you have the I'm talking the most expensive, rarest item in all of World of Warcraft. If you sell one of those, you get 4 or 5 months worth of game time. In this game, if I sell the rarest, most sought after item in the game, which is a rare skin, I could buy countless years of premium. I don't even know how much. It would be like 10 or more years worth of premium access for that one item, possibly more than 10 years. I'm not joking, okay? So with that said, it's just it has a better model than any other game. I mean, what, EVE Online, you have to pay real, I mean, you can pay the in-game money too, but it's so much harder to make. Like, you can't just do that in hours. So some people are going to see this point as a bad thing, but as a long-time MMORPG player, I see it as a good thing, okay? Albion Online is way more of a grind than any other MMORPG that I've seen, okay? And let me tell you why this is a good thing. A little journalism quip there for you. The reason it's good is because I want a game to invest all of my free time into, to do a thing, to improve a thing, okay? You may think that the furniture grind in New World is crazy, because you have to craft like 50,000 tables or some shit, right? Whereas in this game, to max out bow crafting, you're going to have to craft hundreds of thousands of low-tier bows or thousands of high-tier bows if you want to max it out, okay? And so the work you put in gives you more of a reward. If you want to grind out your maximum combat levels, okay, it's going to take you some time, or it's going to take you lots of silver. You have multiple ways to max these things out. I was able to max out an entire combat tree in under like 24 hours, but I spent 100 million silver to do it, whereas a player not spending any silver might take 3 to 4 months to do the same thing, okay? This gives you plenty of stuff to do, you don't get bored, and you have a reason to go out and do things, whereas in New World, once you've maxed out all your crafting, and you've maxed out all your weapon skills, you pretty much just log in to do raids or dungeons, or just to chill with your bros and do nothing else. In World of Warcraft, everyone just raid logs. They just log in once a week, kill the big raid boss, and log out. Whereas in Albion Online, you're constantly grinding, you know? It's nice, it's something to do, you have something to do. As far as MMORPGs go, you can do comfy Farmville, Harvest Moon style activities in Albion Online, whereas in World of Warcraft, you can't really own like farmland, you can't raise cows and stuff. You're basically just some sort of superhero in that world, where in this game, you can just be a regular, normal little rancher, or like a cabbage salesman or something, okay? Like, that's how I started this game. I just wanted to chop trees and grow crops. I didn't care about going out in the world and killing players or diving into dungeons and getting loot and stuff like that, okay? I just wanted to grow fruit on an island, you know? If you've ever played Harvest Moon, Farmville, or any of those kind of games like, what is it, Stardew Valley? This game has all that stuff, right? If you've ever played Arcade, it's the same thing. You can own houses, own farmland, do all that kind of fun stuff, okay? And unlike Arcade, you're not limited to the games like land, okay? You're not competing against bots to try to get a plot of land. You know, everyone gets a plot of land if you have premium. It's great, you know? A lot of more games should do this. And finally, I don't want to make this video too long. I can keep harping on this game, how it's better than a lot of other MMOs, but one of the big ones too is that this game runs on the crappiest computers. It can even run on cell phones, even old cell phones, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's a cell phone game. It's not. It was originally a PC game first, cell phone game second. So what this means is that if you're at the gym and you're on an exercise bike for the next hour, you're just sitting there bored, you can pull out a phone. I don't actually own a phone, by the way, but you could pull out your phone and go chop trees for that 1 hour that you're on your exercise bike, I guess, if you want. Okay, if you're like at the donut shop and you're bored or something and you just want to, you know, check your auctions real quick, you totally can. Whereas the only way to do that in World of Warcraft is to use remote to desktop crap, which a lot of people tend to do nowadays, but it's really clunky and weird. Not fun, but the fact that this game runs on absolutely garbage computers means that it's accessible to everyone in the world. Even the crappiest favela, poor nation countries have computers that can run this game completely fine, and the fact that you can run this game completely fine around 400 people, you know, it's crazy to say that, right? Like, you take New World, and you take people with high-end PCs. If you put 50 people in one zone and make them fight each other, the game servers just clunk out. The world freezes. Everyone is just frozen in place. Nothing is happening. The game desyncs. It's inoperable. And even World of Warcraft nowadays, back in the day, World of Warcraft didn't have this issue, but it does now. You put too many people in a zone and make them fight, it doesn't work. Like, not everyone loads in. This was very obvious when Asmongold was getting, like, doing world PvP over world like bosses in classic WoW. The servers couldn't handle like 200 people running around trying to do shit. Whereas in Albion Online, you don't even see rubber banding. Like, it's smooth sailing, massive wars of 300 to 400 people fighting each other all in one little clunky area. It runs completely fine. It's crazy, and it's all on one server, so like it's really wild that people with really garbage computers can experience and play that. And yeah, sure, if you have the worst ever PC from 10 years ago, like I used to have a PC, I played this on a PC from 2010, a very low end, very low RAM, very crappy processor, an okay graphics card for the time, and even I could ride through a zone with 400 people fighting each other and still get at least above 30 to 40 FPS. All right, it's yeah, you're not gonna be pulling 60. And like on my current rig, I can absolutely pull 200 plus FPS if I turn my limiter off. So yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. I'm Swole Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Now that you've made it to the end of the video, I want to talk to my Albion fans just a bit about why I made this video and what it's about, okay? So this video, it's not about me trying to suck up to SBI. As you know, if you've been a long-time watcher, the company of this game hates me. They hate my guts. I'm like on their shit list. They will never make me an official content creator. They'll never let me in their super secret Cool Kids Club Discord, whatever. I get that. I don't give a shit. I'm not making this to suck up to them. I'm not making this to try to make friends, okay? Every other content creator that signed up for that stupid program is basically told in emails, in conference calls, etc., to not associate with me, to actually rag on me in their videos. I understand that. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Alright, this is mostly a way to spit in the face of Amazon and Blizzard for just how shitty their games have gotten. It is my way of showing that some stupid indie, you know, GoFundMe fucking game is doing a better job. It's been bought out for what, like 30 million? Like most game companies would laugh at that number. I think Amazon New World is like over 500 million. It's kind of like in the ballpark of Star Citizen budget at this point. Blizzard, you know, who knows how many multiple millions they've blown on World of Warcraft, and the fact that they're doing things worse than this little indie, you know, low graphics game is insane to me. It's crazy. It's nuts. But I mostly made this video to just, you know, piss off any kind of person that works in development or at Amazon for, like, you know, Lost Ark, New World, and of course World of Warcraft. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you play Albion, you already know all this stuff anyway. It's whatever. But if you don't, you know, hey, there you go. I just informed you. As far as the game goes, if you don't speak multiple languages, it is a little isolating, so that kind of sucks. But whatever, man. You know, it's just kind of like being on vacation in a different country, I guess. You know, that's the kind of feel that I get. It's like I'm on vacation. Anyway, with that said, I make videos every day, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's video. You can click the thanks button to leave a monetary donation. I'm very poor, so please donate. It really helps. It lets me eat actual real food and not beans and rice. Like today and tomorrow's meal, I'm eating out-of-date bread with some out-of-date tuna. Yes. Because it was like 60 cents, and it's going to feed me for 3 days. So there you go. Donations really help. You can become a channel member. It's $5 a month. It's like subscribing on Twitch, but it's on YouTube. It's way better. You get access to private, more personal videos. I've been putting more of those out lately. There's a playlist in the pinned comment. One of those is how to be a YouTuber. A lot of those is like really cool Albion tricks that I don't want the public to know about. Stuff like that. Who knows what else will be there. Well, when I hit over 100k subs, I might do face reveals for the members only. Even though that stuff's really public information anyway, who cares? But the point is, just help me out, man. Just come on. Anyway, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video that are my regular viewers. You know I make videos every day. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Mwah, take care.